After testimony transcripts revealed FBI concerns about whether President Trump was working against American interests and questions swirl over why the president would want to hide the details of his private meetings with his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin, Hillary Clinton is having a told you so moment, tweeting, quote, like I said, a puppet. She is referring to that infamous moment from the 2016 presidential debate stage. But Clinton isn't the only one who issued a warning about the president's affection toward Putin. Here's a look back.
Putin, from everything I see, has no respect for this person.
Well, that's because he'd rather have a puppet as president of the United States.
No puppet.
And it's pretty clear.
You're the puppet.
What Donald Trump is saying is that he would unilaterally surrender to Russia and Putin, give Putin a massive foreign policy victory.
This guy's already doing enormous damage to us around the world. This is a race between a man who praises Vladimir Putin, pursues Putin.
And he thinks Putin's a good guy, so I just can't go there.
And Donald Trump has got all these weird connections with Russia.
Donald Trump says he admires Vladimir Putin. At the same time, he's called George W. Bush a liar. That is a twisted example of evil trumping good.
I do think that a Trump victory is a gift to Vladimir Putin. It's like they're on the same page.
And now you have Vladimir Putin basically pulling out the old KGB playbook on how to manipulate Donald Trump, and it appears he's fallen right into it.
Mr. Trump's continued flattery of Mr. Putin and the degree to which he appears to model many of his policies and approaches to politics on Mr. Putin is unprecedented in American politics.
Fast forward to what will soon be the president's third year in office, and we are reading headlines like this from my next guest. Here are 18 reasons Trump could be a Russian asset. Max Boot is a columnist for The Washington Post, a senior fellow for the Council on Foreign Relations, and a CNN global affairs analyst. 18 reasons Trump could be a Russian asset. How many years in journalism have you been? How many years?
Many years.
Many years. Did you ever think you'd be writing this piece?
No. I mean, this is like something out of the Manchurian Candidate or the Americans. I mean, this is the realm of spy fiction becoming reality. It would have seemed bonkers until Trump, but it's not bonkers anymore.
So let's go through what is not bonkers, all 18 non-bonker items, starting with your number one on your list of 18. Trump has a long financial history with Russia. This seems to me something that so many people dance around, but really it's like follow the money, which is precisely your point.
Right, exactly. I mean, this is how intelligence services ensnare foreigners, by funding them, by giving them opportunities. We know that Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump have bragged about how much money the Trump organization has gotten out of Russia. We know that in 2016, even as Donald Trump was running for president, the Trump organization was pursuing a plan to build a Trump Tower in Moscow. This is an entangling financial relationship that also leaves them potentially open to blackmail.
Item number 13 on your list, Trump has praised Putin while trashing just about everyone else, from B-grade Hollywood celebrities to leaders of allied nations. And then you remind everyone about how he congratulated President Putin on his rigged election win when he had an aide say, do not congratulate him.
Right, he just can't help himself, right? I mean, it's stunning because Donald Trump is like Don Rickles in the White House. He's an insult machine, but he doesn't insult Vladimir Putin. Even when Putin does something like expelling American diplomats, Donald Trump actually thanks him for that.
So the conclusion, you say, now that we've listed 18 reasons Trump could be a Russian asset, let's look at the exculpatory evidence. Brackets, this page intentionally left blank. You write this.
Yes.
Is there no, on the flip side, on the other hand, Max?
There really isn't. I mean, if you listen to Trump himself, he says nobody's been tougher on Russia than I have, but that's just ridiculous. He has not been tough on Russia. There have been a few things tough on Russia that have occurred during his administration, but they've been the work of Congress, like the 217 Sanctions Act, or the work of aid, such as the expulsion of Russian diplomats. And the reporting has been that when Donald Trump has opposed more sanctions and when he's found out that he signed off on expulsions of Russian diplomats, he was furious. This was not what Donald Trump wanted to do.
And It was your own paper who broke the stunning story of Trump in Hamburg when he met with Vladimir Putin. Not only did he tell the interpreter who was in the room to get rid of the notes, he said, and don't tell my own administration about what we've discussed.
Exactly. I cannot imagine an innocent explanation for that kind of behavior. Why on earth would a U.S. president want to conceal his dealings with the Russian president from his own aides? And yet Donald Trump did that. He had a one-on-one meeting in Hamburg with Putin at a G20 dinner where the only other person present was Vladimir Putin's interpreter. And then, of course, we had the Helsinki summit where Donald Trump was utterly supine before Putin. He looked like he was scared of Putin, and he had that one-on-one meeting. And according to the Washington Post report you just cited, Trump's aides still don't know what happened in Helsinki. They still never got a full readout of Trump's meeting with Putin. I mean, that is as fishy as you can get.
So where this goes, and I just had a member of the House Foreign Relations on, Jerry Donnelly of Virginia, Democrat, saying he hopes that his committee will subpoena this interpreter. What's the likelihood you think that'll happen?
I think it'll be very hard because they will assert the administration will assert executive privilege, and there's a reasonable case for that because in general you want presidents to feel free to speak around interpreters without imagining they're going to be subpoenaed by Congress. But this is an extraordinary case. This is not a normal presidency. This is not a normal case. I still don't know that they're going to be successful. I think we're really relying on Robert Mueller to get to the bottom of this.